Hansen Tools brings you the numbers for our co-main event at 155 pounds. Mark Trey Brown versus Robbie Peralta.
Now the reach is extremely even right here. The main difference right here is Peralta is a few inches shorter right there. That does make for that overhand to be able to land, but Martin Trey Brown gets very low. I don't think it's about the tail of the tape here. He's going to be able to implement the distance, and the game plan is going to win this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now set for the co-main event. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Presented to you by Lions, Not Sheep. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight he wears black and gold. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. His official weight, 154.5 pounds. He stands undefeated at 2-0. Fighting out of Escondido, California. Here is Robbie Problems Peralta. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight, he wears purple, trimmed in gold and black. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. His official weight, 156.7 pounds. His bare knuckle record stands at 3 victories opposite a single defeat. Fighting out of Tampa, Florida, by way of Vicksburg, Mississippi. Here is Martin Brown. And our referee in charge of the action, Andrew Glenn.
Peralta told us, I think Trey Brown is going to try to stay on the outside, utilize his reach advantage. I have to smartly cut off the ring to get to the inside. Round number 1 of our co-main. Purple and gold trunks for Mark Trey Brown. Black and yellow trunks for Robbie Peralta. Peralta to the inside. Into the clinch.
Stop. Step back, step back, step back.
Great call from referee Andrew Glenn. Soft warning by Glenn Peralta, punching to the back of Trey Brown's head. Overhand right on the entry. Brown pulling himself back out, resetting in the center circle. Both fighters so fast, Chris.
Absolutely. Just get the feeling whoever lands this good punch right here could change the course of the night.
Very high, tight striking guard for Trey Brown. Peralta missing with the right hand to the body. Right hook, big hooks on the entry.
Step back, step back.
Peralta said he wants to be in the pocket, but not in the clinch.
Got right in the clinch right there.
60 seconds remaining, round number 1. Right hand just off the mark from Trey Brown.
You know, sometimes in this sport, it's hard to get in the pocket and not get clinched. If one guy wants to clinch, he's going to be able to do it.
Sharp jab from Peralta, jab right back, and into the clinch goes Trey Brown. Designed entry off the jab for Brown. There's a hard jab, big right hand, left hand. Counter on the right hand from Robbie Peralta. Entry on the right hand on the overhand from Brown.
Step back, gentlemen.
It's like Brown might be trying to tie him up a little bit, wear him out, push him around a little bit to slow Peralta down a little bit.
20 seconds remaining, round number 1. You see the feint from Robbie Peralta. You see the head movement from Trey Brown. Stiff jab to the body, right hand, left hand.
Good combination right there by Peralta.
Final seconds, round number 1. Counter on the right hand from Brown. Left hand, right hand, back to the clinch. That is the end of the opening round.
Man, these guys are just doing a great job of waiting for the right time and then exploding in with a lot of punches.
Hey, don't look if you want to punch on me, all right?
You can just tell right here the high level of punching these guys have, because they're just waiting for the right time. They're very calm, relaxed, and then at the right time they both explode in.
I mean, he's going to come forward, so the worst that's going to happen is he's going to spark. So we got to start taking.
There's Brown getting on the inside, landing a good right hand, another good left hand, and just being defensive right there. There's Peralta with a nice jab, and here's where he comes with that good combination, just continues to throw. Like I said, these guys wait for the right time, they explode.
Very close round number one. Both fighters up to scratch, standing 3 feet apart. To round two we go. Jab parried. Going back to right hand. To the clinch again. Big shots on the inside. The left hand getting through from Peralta. Both fighters with high-level pro-MMA experience, comfortable in the clinch. Brown circles out. Sees himself against the ring ropes. Resets off the jab. Left hook from Trey Brown. Hard entry again. Good turn on the underhook from Peralta.
Wrestle, don't wrestle.
Call of don't wrestle from referee Andrew Glenn.
But sometimes, Sean, you got to wrestle the guy in there. You got to manhandle and push him around, let him know that you're the alpha in this situation.
1:10 remaining, round two. Now with the naked right hand to the body, didn't fully land. Peralta off the jab. Left hand, that was blocked by Trey Brown. Again into the clinch. Underhook, snatched by Peralta, driving Brown back against the ring ropes. Short left hand to Robbie Peralta. Smart by Trey Brown, reaching over to the guillotine position, drawing the immediate separation from Andrew Glenn.
Well, not only does that draw the separation, but it kind of wears your opponent out a little bit, putting all that weight on their head and neck.
Peralta right back to the inside. Uppercuts from Trey Brown, uppercut to the sternum, uppercuts to the body with the left hand from Robbie Peralta. Brown looking to turn. Right hand to the body from Martin Trey Brown. Right hands to the body, right uppercut from Robbie Peralta. Both fighters giving and receiving effectively. Final seconds, round number two. The separation from Andrew Glenn. Jab for Peralta. Next stop, round three.
Sean, as a fighter or as a cornerman, this would be a perfect time for some live scoring, open scoring. Who knows who's winning these rounds? Very tough to call right there because inside they're both doing good work. They're both landing punches. How are they determining who's winning that? I don't know.
Boxing coach extraordinaire, Jihad Wingfield in the corner of Martin Trey Brown. He's always phenomenally dressed. That's confidence when you can dress that nicely. You feel that you've trained your fighter so well he's not going to get cut and blood on you. These are two first-class 155-pounders. This is a highly technical fight to this point. You'd expect nothing but Martin Trey Brown versus Robbie Peralta. Left hand from Peralta. Bit of a shoulder roll now from Trey Brown. Right hand, good combination. That backs off Brown. Underhook snatch. Now the overhook from Peralta into the clinch. Both fighters throwing in this active clinch. He's allowed to continue by referee Andrew Glenn.
Sean, a lot of times in those clinches, guys are just holding. Both these guys are throwing a lot of good punches in there.
Short right hands. Peralta landing. Short left hand landed by Trey Brown. Now Martin Trey Brown on the turn. We talked about the evolution of BKFC bare knuckle in the modern era. You're looking at it right now.
A lot of people aren't liking this. I hear people not happy about it, but man, this is exhausting working right there, and that's a good way of wearing your opponent down and getting the position you want.
Dirty boxing, effective in fighting, landing in the active clinch. Like an accidental clash of heads, we continue. No bother from either fighter. 20 seconds remaining, round three of our co-main. Right to the body. That was on the spine. That was the soft warning to Peralta by Glenn.
You can tell Peralta kind of thought about it for a second. So guys, I'm going to throw it.
Hook to the body. Peralta off the jab. Right hand just before the bell from Brown. That ends round number three. What we do know is these are three very close rounds thus far as we start round number four. Check left hook from Trey Brown just off the mark. Now the jab. Jab from Robbie Peralta. Rear right uppercut misses. Peralta pulled it back. Big swing and a miss with the right hand from Trey Brown. Slightly opening up here early stages of round 4. Into the clinch again. Body shots. There's the break from Andrew Glenn. Trey Brown definitely landed a flurry to Peralta's body. Now the left hand. It's high and tight. Ever so slightly, Chris. Trey Brown turning up the temperature of the aggression here in round 4.
Absolutely. He's landing some big punches to the head of Peralta.
Big right hand that landed from Brown. Driving Peralta back is Trey Brown. Peralta cut outside of his left eye. Good left hand from Peralta. That turns Trey Brown.
It is, but the way Trey Brown, he just like slides with you. He doesn't give you any clean shots. Even when he hit you get hit, it just doesn't seem to land flush.
Trey Brown sitting down on that right hand. Entry again from Trey Brown. He has slight swelling under his left eye. 45 seconds to go, round 4. Jab from Peralta. Left hook, right hand. That was well eluded by Trey Brown. 45 seconds now to go in this 4th round. Good jab from Martin Trey Brown. Right hand lands. Trey Brown starting to find his accuracy here in the 4th round. Brown on the duck under into the clinch. Underhook snatched by Peralta. Separation from Glenn. Right hand again on the 2-punch combination. Peralta cut outside of his left eye. A mouse forming under his right eye. Back into the clinch on the entry from Peralta. The left hand. We move to the 5th and final round. Sporting touch of hands and a fast start off the scratch line for Peralta here to open round 5. Counter left hand from Brown.
I know what Brown says. He says he wants people coming forward. He feels like when they do, he's going to counter them.
Good left hook lands. Peralta looking to parry, jab to the body. 1:35 remaining, 5th and final round. Big hook to the body, counter left hand from Brown to the head. Brown turned up the temperature in round 4. Peralta doing the same in round number 5. Overhand right hand just misses from Peralta. See the slickness of Trey Brown. That being said, Peralta's been very slick himself in this fight.
See from the numbers there, Peralta's throwing a lot more punches.
Right to the body, effective from Peralta. That lands right to the body, left to the head.
Looks like Brown hasn't really been throwing the right hand. I don't know if we heard it in the last round because he landed some very good punches last round, but he's not throwing anything with that right hand.
Swing and a miss on the entry, but still a full entry from Robbie Peralta. Cutting distance, 40 seconds to go, 5th and final round. Reset in the center circle. Right to the body again from Peralta. Trey Brown absolutely not throwing his right hand. Missing with that lead left hook. There's the left hand. Right hand just off the mark by Peralta, but he is throwing big to the body and head here in the 5th and final round. Closing stages now of this fight in the clinch. The turn from Trey Brown on the underhook. The separation from Andrew Glenn. Both fighters looking for one more significant punch. Left hand from Brown just off the mark. Right hand to the body from Peralta. The bell and the end of the fight.
Great fight.
Oh yeah, brother. Good shit, baby. Good shit.
Brown just looked at his right hand. That's what modern bare knuckle looks like when you have two highly accomplished, talented, and ultra quick strikers.
You good? Yeah, good. Keep those hands up. Good shit, good shit. You took that. You took that, son.
3 Mississippi judges' scorecards now being tallied, and you see the final strike stats through the full 5 rounds, the full 10 minutes. Peralta definitely more active, but again, judges are trained. They are not counting punches. They are looking for effective strikes, cleanly landed to legal targets. see punches in the clinch, and that favors Martin Trey Brown, at least on the percentage-wise. Great show of respect from Robbie Peralta in the Martin Trey Brown corner.
It was crazy, bro. I thought this was good. I told you, stop that.
Martin Trey Brown did not throw his right hand once in the 5th and final round. And after the bell rang to end the fight, you could see Trey Brown looking at his right hand as he walked back to his corner. Now, great show of respect as Trey Brown goes to the Peralta corner. There was never animosity between these two fighters.
Ain't no piece of shit, man.
For sure. I'll respect you.
Both very wide-eyed in their assessments of each other's respective abilities and talents. Both had well-formed strategies. And now they wait in the center circle.
It was a round 3.
And as Chris and I often tell you, not just in bare knuckle, but in all combat sports, usually when there's a delay, it means something other than a unanimous decision. Not always, but usually. The delay is ended. Jeff Houston is now in the ring. That was quality through the full 5 rounds in our co-main. To end all suspense, Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, after completing the scheduled 5 rounds, our judges at ringside score this fight 48-47 in favor of Brown. 48-47 in favor of Peralta. And 48-47 to the winner by split decision. Robbie Problems Peralta!
Robbie Peralta remains undefeated in bare knuckle at 3-0, including 2-0 in BKFC. The math, 3 rounds to 2, 3 rounds to 2, and 3 rounds to 2. The majority seeing it 3 rounds to 2, 48-47 for Peralta. The winner by way of split decision, Robbie Peralta defeats Martin Trey Brown.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
Division we go. Lorenzo Koka versus Ruben WARR.
Another very even fight right there, Sean. 1 inch height difference, 2 inch reach advantage for Koka. So it's not going to be the tail to take this aside. This is he can implement that game plan.
This is bout number 1 in bare knuckle fighting championship for Ruben WARR. He's had 24 pro MMA bouts, 1 in pro boxing. WARR told us he feels he is a very good counter striker and he feels he is very elusive on angles.
Sean, this is one of the guys that came through the crowd. We're really impressed with his footwork, his head movement. He said he wants to hit angles, make sure he does not get hit at all here. He wants to outclass his opponent the entire fight.
WARR also told us, I'm going to pick my engagements intelligently. I'm going to utilize continuous movement, and I will smartly enter and exit the pocket.
Get in into that pocket and be the bully, clinch his opponent, push him around. He feels like he's bigger, stronger, and just a more physical presence out there.
Of his opponent, Lorenzo Koka, in this bout of 155 pounds, WARR said, I think he's going to have a really measured start. I feel that when Koka throws, he throws with power, but he's very stationary in doing so.
WARR felt like this is the biggest opportunity of his life. He's going to put on a show. He wants to be here for the long haul.
Fighting here in his home city, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Lorenzo Koka is set for bout number 1 in BKFC. Koka has had 28 pro MMA bouts. He told us, I want to continually push forward while throwing power punches.
And when he pushes forward, get into that clinch. Feels like he can control his opponent, do a lot of damage, and wear him out as the fight goes on.
Koka said of his opponent, Ruben WARR, I know he's very experienced in pro MMA, but to me, he's a subs guy. I think he's a grappler, not really a striker in mixed martial arts. I do think, however, Koka said that WARR will try to put on a very fast pace.
And Koka wants to put on an ugly fight with a fast start, get in there, push his opponent around, turn this into not a boxing fight, but a brawl. He feels like when he does that, he's going to have superior hand speed, and he's going to beat his opponent to the punch.
Koka said, I welcome the fast pace of Ruben WARR. Every time he comes forward, I'm going to land power punches.
That in and out motion he's got to use, and that straight right hand. If he can land that straight right hand, that's going to do the damage against WARR.
Koka said, on the inside, that's where my hand speed will show through. Once again, Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for the next fight of the night. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Presented to you by Grunt Style Apparel, America's patriotic apparel leader. Introducing to you first, fighting in the red corner. Tonight he wears pink. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. His official weight, an even 156 pounds. He holds a combined combat sports record of 25 fights, and tonight makes his BKFC debut. Fighting out of Louisville, Kentucky, here is Ruben Bad Boy WARR. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears white and black. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. His official weight, 153.8 pounds. He is an MMA veteran of 28 fights, and tonight makes his BKFC debut. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, here is Lorenzo, the disciple, Koka. And our referee in charge of the action, Nick Behrens.
Ruben WARR said, for me, this is about high volume with excellent placement. We're already up to scratch. Now up to scratch, Lorenzo Koka, round number 1. White trunks for Koka, pink trunks for WARR. Overhand right from WARR, not there. Jab from Koka. Step in right hand, big swings from WARR. Koka on the turn, resetting in the center circle. Step in right hand. We're throwing big early stages of this fight. 90 seconds remaining, round number 1. We are in the lightweight division.
You said so. That was a big punch by WARR right there. It didn't land, but that would have been a lot of damage if it did land.
Big swing now from Koka, the duck under into the clinch. Separation from referee Nick Behrens. Right back to it. Koka coming forward, eludes that overhand right of Lorenzo Koka. Big swings, big hooks, big overhands from both men. On the turn, and down goes Lorenzo Koka.
That was an awkward sequence right there, so I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Up at 6. Koka on the spin and down to the canvas. And down goes Ruben WARR. And that's ruled a slip by Nick Behrens.
Both these guys are just throwing big, wild overhand rights, man.
Koka.
See if they can settle in a little bit and start doing some straight punches.
30 seconds remaining, round one. Well, coming now from Koka's right nostril and knockdown number 2. That was clean on the right hand.
5, 6.
That's it.
Down again! Victory for the BKFC Trialist into Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, Ruben WARR.
And Sean, that did not go exactly like we thought, but we knew this guy was going to be good. Showed a lot of great head movement when he came to trials. He just looks like he's headhunting right now, but very emotional coming into this fight. Let's see if next time he calms down a bit. He's really good out there.
Let's fucking go! He earned the contract in BKFC through the open trials, and now he earns a victory in his BKFC debut.
You can see he's a very emotional fighter right there. Just in the weigh-ins, in our fighter meeting, this guy's just, he really wants this bad. He's coming to put on a show. Did a good job here tonight. Didn't even really land with his clean power that he wanted to, but he still did damage.
Koka on the second knockdown was up, stumbled, got up again, stumbled, and that's when referee Nick Barron stopped this fight. No protestations from Koka or his corner. Celebration and victory for Ruben WARR.
And Sean, when you're so emotional, when you're so amped up, when you're so ready for a fight, you would not believe the pouring out of emotion after you get the victory right there. And you can see that right now in Ruben WARR. It's just a wave of elation that comes through and just relief that that fight is over. It went your way and you're ready to move on.
Lorenzo Koka was throwing big punches, the same for Ruben WARR, but it was WARR who ultimately connected on the punches. Nice show of respect between these two fighters. 2 knockdowns to the win for Ruben WARR, now 1-0 in BKFC. Chris, that's what the open trials are all about. Here is Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Nick Barons, reaches the count of 10 at 1 minute 46 seconds into round number 1. For your winner by KO, Ruben Bad Boy WARR.
And Sean, you can see how much this means to Ruben WARR. Great start to the career for him. Look forward to seeing this guy fight again.
Thank you, bro.
Both fighters were intent on throwing big, landing big. Ruben WARR dropping Lorenzo Koka. Koka off the canvas, but then dropped again, and that is the end of the fight. The winner, by way of first round knockout, Ruben WARR defeats Lorenzo Koka.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
Dylan Felon versus Dan Pettit.
Sean, both these guys extremely tall for this weight class at 145, 6'3" and 6'1". Felon does also have a 3-inch reach advantage he's going to utilize.
Ring championship debut for Dan Pettit. Overall, outside of this promotion, he has had one bare knuckle bout. In our fighter meeting, Pettit told us that he watched BKFC 1 and decided on that evening, June 2nd, 2018, I want to be a bare knuckle fighter and I want to do so in BKFC.
That excites me, Sean. I love hearing that people don't want to be boxing. They don't want to be MMA. They want to be bare knuckle. He saw the first one. He saw the exact same thing I did. This is the best sport out there, and he decided to go for it.
Pettit also told us, I want to be very heavy on my opponent, Dylan Felion's neck in the clinch. I want to utilize smart entries with my head movement and my footwork, and I want to target the body of Dylan Felion.
Knows how tall his opponent is, has to work to get inside. Use jabs, straights, a lot of head movement. He's got to watch out for that long jab, and he's got to work to get inside to land those combinations.
Pettit 6'1" to Felion 6'3". Pettit said, I cannot allow Felion to control at range. I think he's going to try to stay long, work off of the jab. I have to get to the inside and do so quickly.
And when he gets inside, the thing that's going to be open, that body. You have a very tall individual, and Felion, he wants to get in there, work that body, land hard shots, slow his opponent down, and then go for the knockout.
Dylan Felion now set for his BKFC debut. Felion 1-0 in pro boxing, 8-2 in AMI MMA. In our fighter meeting, Felion said, I'm, quote, a crafty fighter. He said, I want to be creative and I want to be entertaining, but I also want to be smart. I'm not going to allow Dan Pettit to pull me into a brawl.
You touched on it, Sean. He feels he's a showman, wants to put on a show. Knows he's tall, knows he's long, wants to utilize that reach. Feels like he always sees openings from his opponent because he has a very high fight IQ.
Felion said, I definitely do not have big power. I know that, but I have built my style around my skill set, and I believe that that is accuracy. I believe I'm an extremely precise fighter.
Knows what his fighter is good at, knows what his opponent's good at, knows his opponent's going to get inside, try and land hard punches, hard combinations inside. It's up to him to stop that from happening. If he uses his reach, he uses those jabs, he stays long, he's going to make his opponent take each time he tries to step close.
Felion said, I'm going to fully utilize my reach advantage. I'm going to stay long, and I'm going to pick apart Dan Pettit from the outside.
High fight IQ, that's what this is all about.
Our debut at the spectacular Mohegan Sun. To get our evening started, we send it to Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you one and all to the Mohegan Sun Arena for the very first bare knuckle fighting event in Connecticut State history. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to BKFC 61. BKFC for review begins tonight with 5 2-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Presented to you by Bucked Up Energy Drink. Get bucked up. Introducing you first. Fighting out of the red corner, tonight he wears white. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall. His official weight, 144.7 pounds. Tonight, he makes his BKFC debut. Fighting out of Manchester, Connecticut, by way of Lake Elsinore, California. Here is Dan the Tower Dog Pettit. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears blue. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall. His official weight, an even 146 pounds. He holds an undefeated pro boxing record at 1-0, and tonight makes his BKFC debut. Fighting out of Rutland, Vermont, here is Dylan, the Afro Samurai Felion. And our referee in charge of the action, Big Dan Mergliata.
Dan Pettit told us, I believe I'm fast, I believe I'm explosive. I'm going to get to the inside quickly off of scratch. Both fighters up to scratch. Round number one. Rapid fire start for Dan Pettit. He's in the white trunks, and down goes Dylan Felon. He's in the blue trunks. Ruled to slip immediately by referee Dan Mergliata. Right back to it.
And Pettit just coming with reckless abandonment right now, coming straight forward.
This now is the range that Felon told us he wants. Good duck under from Pettit. High tight striking guard. Pettit coming forward from southpaw. There's the long jab from Ortho. Big right hand to the inside. More big shots. There's the underhook. Separation from Dan Mergliata. Right back to it.
Pettit using a lot of energy.
Your right uppercut just misses from Felon.
Pettit has got to slow it down a little bit. He can't waste all that energy. If he does, he's going to tire out.
See the big swings of Dan Pettit. There's the long jab of Felon on the right hand. Entry left hand. And that is a clean knockdown. There's the mandatory A count. Given to Felon from Dan Mergliata. Right back to it. Nearly running into that right hand was Dan Pettit. There's the jab left hand. 50 seconds remaining, round number one. More big swings. That's a slip from Pettit off the canvas. He keeps going and takes the right hand from Felon. Chris, both fighters going all out here in the opening round. Both men in their BKFC debut.
They're both just winging punches, and that's going to wear them out.
Knockdown number two. That is ruled a slip.
They called that a slip. I think it was a knockdown, Sean.
So instead of knockdown number two, slip number two. We fight on here in round number one. But Pettit has recorded a clean knockdown. Pettit coming forward again.
Felon backpedaling the entire time, just waiting to throw these wild uppercuts.
There's the 10-second clack. Good duck under. Overhand right just misses from Pettit. The left hand, big right hand back to the inside goes Dan Pettit. Both fighters in the center circle. Jab from Felon. There is the bell. Next stop, round two.
That was just an incredibly wild round, Sean. Both guys throwing awkward punches, very off balance. They were too excited. That's exactly what that was about. These guys are better fighters than that. They just were too wild and wanted to hurt the other guy too much. This is when the fight's going to start. In the second round, they're going to slow down the pace a little bit, settle in a little bit more, and see who really has more skill. Pettit spent a lot of energy right there. He might wear himself out if he doesn't really slow the pace down. And you can see overhand right. This was a knockdown from Felon. And you can see right there, Felon acknowledged, got knocked down, but he wasn't hurt. Wild miss.
That was ruled a slip by Dan Mergliata.
Yeah, I thought it was a cleaner punch. I thought it was a punch to the body. Looks like it wasn't much of a punch at all. From this angle, it looked like it, but these guys are just so off balance because they're trying to hit so hard. They need to get their feet underneath it when they throw a punch.
Round number two, as he did to start round number one. Exploding off from scratches, Dan Pettit. Pettit right hand, big left hand. That sends Felon against the ropes. Felon circling out.
Felon not even circling out, he's running.
Felon missing with the right hand. We'll see how that is ruled by Mergliata. That is ruled as the third slip of this fight. Looked to be a push by Pettit.
More of a shoulder check.
Left hand not getting through from Felon.
Felon is throwing these wide hooks. He needs to turn those into uppercuts just like that.
Huge swings with the rear right hand from Felon, but well read from Pettit again. Guillotine position, that draws the separation from Dan Mergliata. 80 seconds remaining, round number two. Overhand right misses the mark from Pettit.
Pettit needs to step closer before he starts throwing those punches.
Driving pressure. That's the fifth time that Felon's been on the canvas. The fourth time ruled a slip by Dan Mergliata.
He's going to get tired just from standing up.
Overhand right, that landed cleanly from Pettit. On the full back pedal, Felon. 1 minute remaining, round number two. Hook jab from Felon on his back foot. There's the rear right hand.
Every time Felon's throwing these jabs or punches, he's dropping his hands.
Overhand right again. That left hand gets through, and that is a clean knockdown.
Waiting for the 8 count, I think.
Up at 8 is Dylan Felon. Felon showing his heart. Both hands down. That is a slip. More big right hands. Seeing the finish line, trying to reach it is Dan Pettit, but Felon lands the right hand.
Felon doesn't look hurt from these situations. He's getting knocked down, but he hasn't shown a lot of his legs not being there. He does hit the ground once again, though.
That's a push down. Clearly a slip. The two knockdowns, one in round one, one in round two, both recorded by Dan Pettit. with the right hand. Still in this fight, still throwing big, as is Dan Pettit. Overhand right, right hand, the bell. We move to round 3.
Sean, I stand corrected. I said this is when the fight slows down. This is when they settle in. It didn't happen that round. They continued to fight just like they did the first round. Both these guys are still extremely wild. Whoever can settle down, whoever can slow the pace and pick some shots is going to win the fight. Felon right now, every time he throws a punch, he drops both hands. So if he's throwing his right hand, it's out of position. The left hand is right there at his waist. He's easy to counter. Pettit is just swinging with reckless abandonment from far away, missing shots, and he's out of position as well. Whoever can settle in, wait, and counter clean is probably going to get a knockdown. And here is the second knockdown. Nice punch landed, but the main thing is Felon had his head straight up without the hands blocking. That's an easy shot. All you have to do is touch the guy. His hands are nowhere around to block it. You can't put yourself in a position where you're not defensive in this sport.
We've had 5 slips from Dan Felon, as ruled by Dan Miragliotta. 2 knockdowns, 1 in round 1, 1 in round 2. Presumably back-to-back 10-8 rounds for Dan Pettit as we start round number 3. There's the right hand, left hand. Big shots, and that's ruled a knockdown. Miragliotta is saying that Felon was supported by the second to bottom rope, and here's the mandatory 8.
Very accurate with that.
So that's the 3rd knockdown of this fight. There's the right hand. Felon staying on his bike, relentless closing pressure. Pettit, big right hand knockdown number 4. That is the fight, and that is the win for Dan Pettit.
Just kept coming with hard punches the entire time. Did not care what his opponent was doing. Felon never really stopped and planted and came back with that right hand.
Just get on the bench here.
Just continued to throw with reckless abandonment. Did Pettit until he landed the knockout punch. He's going to go back and watch this, understand he has power, understand if he hits, he can't hurt you, but he's going to have to calm that down a little bit for his next fight.
Dylan Felon told us he wanted to be creative, he wanted to be entertaining, he just didn't want to brawl. That's definitely 2 out of 3, but Felon still showed some good things in his BKFC debut, and Dan Pettit, Chris, showed some really good things in his BKFC debut, most notably that relentless pressure.
A lot of very significant pressure. He is going to have to tone that down a little bit because he did leave himself open a lot, but there was a lot of positives there. If he goes back, watches tape, and goes back to the gym and understands he's got to pull it back a little bit, he's going to be all right.
4 knockdowns to the finish, recorded by Dan Pettit. 1 knockdown apiece, rounds 1 and 2, and then 2 knockdowns in round 3. That second round 3 knockdown, the 4th of the fight, no count from Dan Miragliotta. He ruled that the end of this fight had been reached, and that is a strong performance by Dan Pettit here in his home state of Connecticut, and this his BKFC debut. We go to Jeff Houston.
Fuck yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Big Dan Miragliotta, steps in and calls a stop to this fight at 36 seconds into round number 3. For your winner by TKO, Dan the Tower Dog Pettit.
Good educational fight for Pettit. Has learned a lot there. I believe he's learned he's going to have to pull something off, but when he wants to, when he lands with power, he can do some damage.
Dylan Felon was game. Dan Pettit was explosive, and he landed with power from the mid-range and in the pocket. 4 knockdowns to the finish. The winner by way of 3rd round TKO. Dan Pettit defeats Dylan Felon.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
Kane Tomlinson Sr. versus Brett Fields.
And you can see here 5'11" versus 6 foot, very similar reach, very similar. This is not about that. It's whoever can come in and impose the wear, land the harder shots. These are two heavy-handed guys. Whoever lands the big punch first has a great chance of winning, Sean.
Set for fight number 2 in BKFC. He's also had 3 AMI MMA bouts. Fields told us in our fighter meeting in this, his second fight in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. He feels that the sport of bare knuckle is more about defense rather than offense. Fields said, I have a lot of natural aggression, but in this fight I'm going to challenge and channel that natural aggression into my defense rather than my offense.
And using that defense, he's going to try and make his opponent come in, draw him into a fight, make his opponent come forward where he can counter. It feels like he has heavy hands. If he can get his opponent in close, land some hard body shots, that's going to be the difference.
Fields told us, I believe my opponent, Kane Tomlinson Sr., is very aggressive. He has legitimate power, but I think he leaves himself open. Fields said, I'm going to be faster than him, I'm going to be more on point, and I'm going to target his body.
But the main thing, he has to be patient. He cannot go out there and rush. He knows if he rushes, he leaves himself open. Defense is key. Wait for the right time, explode.
Big ovation for Kane Tomlinson Sr. fighting here in his home state, Virginia. This is fight number 3 in BKFC for Tomlinson. He's also had 3 pro MMA bouts, and he works regularly as a pro MMA and boxing judge and referee. Kane Tomlinson Sr. told us in our fighter meeting his main focus in training was on cardio. Tomlinson Sr. said, my cardio is solid. I'm going to open up quickly with power punches. I'm going to go all out for the knockout. If I don't get that knockout, then I'll step back and start throwing my jab.
And that's the thing. He said every punch counts in this, and that's why he wants to really come in there and throw hard right from the beginning. He knows he's going against a strong guy. He cannot get bullied. He cannot get muscled out there. He's got to get in that mid-range and throw hard shots.
Tomlinson said, I know that Fields is strong. He has definitely power in both hands, but I'm going to negate that power with my superior speed. Left hooks from the mid-range, that is my key punch.
Not just speed, technique. He feels like he has better technique than his opponent. That's going to be the difference. He can go out there and be a tactician in this fight with hard punches. He's going to win.
To get our main card started, we send it to Jeff Houston.
Hello, 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 Salem! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Salem Civic Center. Welcome once again to BKFC invading the Commonwealth of Virginia. And welcome to BKFC 51. We are set for the next fight of the night, scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the middleweight division, presented to you by Mint 45. Introducing you first, fighting out of the red corner, tonight he wears blue and white. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. His official weight, 175.8 pounds. Tonight, he steps into the squared circle for the second time. Fighting out of Chicago Heights, Illinois, here is Brett "The Beast" Fields. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears black and white. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. His official weight, 175.6 pounds. Tonight, he steps into the squared circle ready for bare knuckle fight number 4. Fighting out of Roanoke, Virginia, here is Kane, the Beast, Tomlinson Sr. And our referee in charge of the action, Big Dan Mergliata.
Kane Tomlinson Sr., part of the only father-son duo in BKFC. His son, Zion Tomlinson Jr., a forward fight BKFC veteran in his corner. Round number 1, true to his word, flying off of the scratch line comes Kane Tomlinson Sr. He's in the black and white trunks. Not an easy separation for Dan Mergliata. Brett Fields is in the blue and white trunks. Talking to both fighters now, telling Fields on a softer roll to watch punches to the back of the head. Sporting touch of hands right back to it. There's the big right hand from Tomlinson.
Great counter right there by Tomlinson. He just looks confident right now. Hands down. He's got to be careful like that, though.
Tomlinson with a short right hand. Turn that over. Tomlinson now coming forward. Fields taking a step back. Tomlinson just knocked an outpiece out of Fields. We fight on. Mergliata saw it. He's waiting for an actual separation and break. Here it is. It will be the mouthpiece. Time called by Mergliata. Great referee.
You can see right there, Fields took a step back. He did not like getting hit that way.
Hansen coming forward again. Smeared blood on the face, and Fields takes that jab now to the body. Over the neck now, half-time punt from Tomlinson. Fields trying to settle into this fight. Great start from Tomlinson. Fields on the turn, putting Tomlinson's back against the rope. Separation from Mergliata.
See the way Fields is walking back. He's not comfortable right now.
Hard jab, that sends Fields back. Fields on the back foot. Tomlinson coming forward off the jab. Half-time pump snatched again. Fields turning Tomlinson now. Separation again from Mergliata.
And mouthpiece got knocked out again. He's going to have to start fighting back. He's going to break his jaw.
Piece back in with no histrionics. 30 seconds remaining. Round number 1. Ferocious pace to this middleweight fight. And against the flow of the fight, down goes Kane Tomlinson Sr.
He's bleeding bad, so I'm not sure if he's getting up.
The count of 9, the count of 10, and the come from behind win for Brett Fields.
And Sean, we talked about that's all it takes in this sport. One punch. Like you saw right there, Kane Tomlinson was doing great in this fight, dominating the fight as a matter of fact. Knocked his opponent's mouthpiece out twice, but all it takes is one punch, especially against a big, strong guy like Fields.
Kane Tomlinson Sr. was absolutely dominating this fight. Landing shots, pushing back Fields. And Chris, this knockout comes truly against the flow of the fight.
And just look at that. Kane Tomlinson leaned back just out of the way of his opponent's push and came back with a great jab right there. Look at the way Fields backs away. He did not like that at all. Kane Tomlinson was in complete control in this fight until he wasn't. That's all it takes with power like that. Fields threw a punch, did the damage. It didn't look like much, but boom, look at what that did. Cut his opponent. Tomlinson was coming forward. It was the weight magnified with him coming forward as the distance of that punch being landed. Doubled up with that pain right there. It was crazy.
Not quite a jab, not quite a hook, not quite a check hook, almost a hook jab. And Brett Fields lost his mouthpiece for the 3rd time in this fight as he landed that hook jab. And that one punch not just turned the fight, it won the fight for Brett Fields.
And Sean, it wasn't a jab, it wasn't a hook, it's that in between, and that's what makes it hard to see. I guarantee Kane Tomlinson, he's seen a lot of jabs coming up, he's seen a lot of hooks. It's that middle range you're not used to, and that's why you get hit with it. It's just like a changeup or something different in baseball. If you don't see that punch coming and it hits, that's the one that does the damage. If you're braced, if you're ready for that punch to hit you, you can defend that a little bit better. You can know it's coming, but when you don't see it, those do a lot of damage. It did a lot of damage right there.
We go to Jeff Houston.
Don't ever fucking forget that.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Big Dan Mergliata, reaches the count of 10 at 1 minute 39 seconds into round number 1. For your winner by KO, Brett the Beast Fields.
And
Sean, we talk about it a lot. We love it when people get up off the canvas to win. Fields did not get knocked down, but it was very close to happening. It was the next best thing. He dealt with some damage. He dealt with some adversity. He went through it. He landed that punch and got the knockout.
Until he got caught, dropped, and finished, Kane Tomlinson Sr. looked outstanding in this his third fight in BKFC. And in this his second fight in BKFC, Brett Fields shows his resiliency to come from behind win. Victorious by way of first round knockout, Brett Fields defeats Kane Tomlinson Sr.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month. Tonight, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is back in California. We find ourselves in Temecula, a city whose motto is old traditions, new opportunities. This evening, we celebrate one of the oldest traditions in the world, Bare Knuckle Fighting, as we provide new opportunities for Titans who dare to step in the squared circle and test their luck. Live from Pechanga Resort Casino, this is BKFC Fight Night Pechanga, Peralta vs. WARR. And it starts right now.
Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is presented by Bucked Up Energy Drink. Welcome to SoCal, the Pechanga Reservation here in Temecula, California, where tonight the hottest ticket is Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. The baddest athletes on the planet have descended upon the fabulous Pechanga Resort Casino. Time to knuckle up, and here is your free view card. 3 big fights, just a prelude of what's to come for our entire card tonight here from Pechanga. Just a little taste, and we'll get into the main card full of hungry athletes looking to make their name here in the BKFC. One fight to watch for is our feature bout of bantamweight between Luis Enriquez and Victor Rosas. In our co-main event is the accomplished MMA vet Fernando Gonzalez, who lost a close bout at Knucklemania 4, but now he has his sights on a BKFC win against a newcomer, the quick-handed Rodney Thomas. And our main event, to guaranteed WARR, Ruben WARR, right there in there. He had a tremendous showing at Knucklemania, but now he's going to toe the line against 28-fight veteran and 1-1 of the BKFC, Robbie Problems Peralta. It is on. And here we are at the Pechanga Event Center here at the Pechanga Casino Resort in Temecula, California. After Knucklemania 4 back in April, I believe that the state of California, the fans here, have fallen in love with our product with BKFC. So here we are. We are back now in Pechanga. What a tremendous resort. So many great events here. We are happy to be here. And tonight, folks, it is going to be a tremendous night of fights. We talked about that main event, but the entire card could steal the show. Now listen, I did mention it. You are in the free view, but we want to get you the entire event. So what you're going to have to do is get the official BKFC app. You can get it on all major app stores, all platforms. Get the BKFC app. It's $7.99. And not only will you get tonight, you'll get, of course, our entire archives, all the exclusive video content, but you'll get another couple events as well. So let's take a look at what's coming up here in the month of August, because you're going to get the first 2 events for that $7.99 all-inclusive. But let's talk about it. August 3rd at the Sturgis Rally, the Buffalo Chip. It's going to be incredible. Title on the line, Britton Hart and Taylor Starling. Then it is Connor Tierney and Johnny Graham in Coventry, UK, BKFC 64 on August 10th. We're going to go back to the Heartland. Jake Lindsay, Elvin Britta, you're also going to get Kevin Kroom on that card in Kansas City. You don't want to miss that. And then at the end of the month, we are going to be back with our Neighbors of the North Prospect Series rolling in to Edmonton. Excited to get back to Canada. What a great fight city that is. Now, October, this is what everybody's been talking about, us making our way to a brand new country, brand new territory. That is Spain, Marbella, Spain. One of the most beautiful places on earth. We are going to be there bringing all that roughneck action to them. It's going to be a title fight. Tenaglia taking on Soto. Of course, Conor McGregor is going to be in the building as well. What we're going to see just next week. If you don't know, now you know. Next week on Thursday, on the 18th, it's going to be around 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, 12:30 in Spain. We got an official press conference. I'm going to be there. We're going to have David Feldman. We're going to have our main eventers. And, of course, we are going to have the man in question. That is the notorious Conor McGregor, part owner here at BKFC. That's all going to happen at the press conference, so we hope you're going to join us on the app, on YouTube, however you want to watch it. You don't want to miss it. That's next week from Marbella, Spain. But, folks, there's a lot to get to tonight. So let's talk about getting to the fights. Let's get to the action. Let's get one step closer by introducing our commentary team, Sean Relock and Chris Lytle. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Cyrus. Chris, this is hugely pivotal for both men in our main event. It is set at 155 pounds, Robbie Peralta versus Ruben WARR.
Great contest, two very good fighters, very tough, both in a different place, but both guys trying to get to that thing they want, the title shot. How they're going to go about it, it's going to be totally different for both guys. But what Ruben WARR needs to do, he needs to utilize what we saw in the trials. Great head movement, looked really good in the way he was able to avoid punches and come back with his own shots. He understands this sport. It was amazing to me seeing a tryout guy who understands hit, don't get hit, in and out movement. We were really impressed with his head movement, really impressed with his ability to control the range, control the distance, fight when he wants to fight. He's looked fantastic when he's been able to do so. Wants to get out there, he really feels like this is his time to make a title run. He wants to make this for his family, to get him a new start. He's fired up and ready. Robbie Peralta, this guy almost got to the title run against a very tough Martin Trey Brown. Trey did fight for the title, and what did he do? He pushed the pace. He fought when he wanted to fight, no other time. Pushed the pace, got in through combinations. When he throws combinations, he pushes you backwards. He's hard to beat. Been very good. So this guy wants to get right back into that title hunt. All he has to do is control the range. He feels like if he does so, he's going to be victorious. One fight away from a title fight then.
Chris, you have tonight's fight odds. They are presented by Kurgo, the official betting partner of BKFC.
Lots of money to be made tonight, people. Pay attention. Listen to what's going on. The one that jumps out the page at me right here, Alexander Gutierrez at -102. I think that's a fantastic fight.
BKFC uses the unified rules of bare-knuckle fighting, which are being administered this evening by the outstanding California State Athletic Commission. Punching in the active clinch is allowed. All kicks, knees, and elbows are illegal, as are all takedowns and submissions. First up tonight, a bout in the bantamweight division. Mike Hansen versus Anthony Yost. Our tale of the tape is presented by Bucked Up Energy Drink.
Sean, both guys here very similar in most aspects. A slight 2.5-inch reach advantage for Hansen. Let's see if he can utilize that, make Anthony Yost step close to get those hard punches off, make him pay each time he does.
Anthony Yost set for his BKFC debut. This is bout number 2 for Yost in the sport of bare knuckle. He's also had 5 pro MMA fights. In our fighter meeting, Anthony Yost told us that I'm predominantly a counter striker in MMA, but in bare knuckle, I try to be the aggressor.
He wants to read his opponent, adjust when he's out there fighting. He understands he has to use a lot of foot movement, use a lot of high elbow blocks to guard. This isn't boxing, this isn't MMA. You cannot block with your hands.
Yost also told us, I'm going to continually try to walk down my opponent, Mike Hansen, from the mid-range. I'm going to utilize feints. Yost said of his opponent in this bantamweight bout, Mike Hansen, he's got a very good 1-2. I think he wants to use that 1-2 to come to the inside. If he tries to clinch up, I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to be quick with my dirty boxing and then right back out of range.
As his opponent tries to use that 1-2, he wants to throw a lot of check hooks. If the body's open, definitely wants to target that. But he feels like he needs to pressure his opponent. He cannot let his opponent get comfortable out there.
Mike Hansen now set for fight number 1 at BKFC. He's had 7 pro MMA bouts, 1 in professional boxing. Hansen told us in our fighter meeting that he has evolved in his career, he said, from a brawler to a, quote, strategic brawler. Hansen, who's naturally right-handed, also told us he's going to keep switching stances. Hansen said, in orthodox, I'm better with straight punches. In the southpaw, I'm better with my movement.
Strategic brawler, that was a great one. He says this is more of a chess game to him. He has to figure out how to work his way in with high volume, pick shots. He wants to make sure he's not throwing all power all the time, but picking the right time and then unloading.
Hansen told us, I believe my opponent Anthony Yost is going to try to apply continual heavy pressure. I have to confuse Yost, Hansen told us, with my footwork and with my very intelligent movement.
Movement was the key. He cannot ever be stagnant, never stationary. He's going to be using that lateral movement. This is a small ring. He can't go straight back and forth. He's got to use circular motion.
Bout number 1 for our second ever BKFC in the great state of California. To get us started, here's Jeff Houston.
Hello, hello, hello! Temecula! Good evening, one and all, and welcome to the magnificent Pechanga Event Center here at the world-famous Pechanga Resort and Casino in Temecula, California. And we welcome you one and all to the most exciting combat sport on planet Earth today. This is BKFC Fight Night. We are set for our opening fight of the night, scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the bantamweight division, presented to you by Bucked Up Energy Drink. Get bucked up. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight he wears blue and gold. He stands 5 feet 5 inches tall. His official weight, 134.1 pounds. Tonight he steps into the squared circle ready for bare knuckle fight number 2. Fighting out of Pensacola, Florida, here is Anthony, the Devil's Advocate, Yost. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears black. He stands 5 feet 5 inches tall. His official weight, 134.3 pounds. He is an MMA veteran of 7 fights and tonight makes his BKFC debut. Fighting out of Anaheim, California, here is Mike Mighty Mouse Hansen. And our referee in charge of the action, Jonathan Romero.
Anthony Yost told us, I'm going to continually move my feet, smart entries, smart exits. Romero calling both fighters up to scratch. Soon they will be standing 3 feet apart. The bell, round number 1. Black trunks for Mike Hansen, blue trunks for Anthony Yost. Just a 1-2 from Yost. Overhand right, big swings from both fighters to start this bout. There's the left hook just off the mark from Yost. Straight right hand on the counter.
Yost definitely wanted to keep his back right in the middle, pushing the pace the entire time so far.
You just saw the diversionary literal up jab of Anthony Yost. There's a good check left hook from Mike Hansen. Now the jab right back from Yost. Drops in the step of Anthony Yost. And you see that diversionary lead hand going upwards. That's by design from Yost. Overhand right just off the mark. 15 remaining, round number 1. We are in the bantamweight division. Right hand to the left to follow at 2-3, and walking through it is Anthony Yost after Hansen landed cleanly. Huge left hand, and that drops Mike Hansen.
These guys are both extremely fast. That was a perfectly placed shot.
Here's the mandatory 8 count given to Mike Hansen by referee Jonathan Romero.
Hansen's got to be careful right now. He's still hurt. He better tie his opponent up. He cannot trade punches at this point.
Yost coming forward again.
Hansen's doing a good job, but he's got to be very careful.
Overhand right, more big overhands from Yost. Left hand. Check left hook from Yost that dropped Hansen here in round number 1. Now 30 seconds remaining in the opening round. There's a counter right there. And we're at 1 knockdown apiece.
These guys are so accurate. Yost is hurt. Yost is very hurt still. You got to be careful. They might stop this.
Jonathan Romero telling Anthony Yost. He stops this fight. For Mike Hansen.
So that was totally out of nowhere against the pace of the fight. Yost was doing a great job of counter-punching the entire fight, landed a great punch, knocked his opponent down. It just takes one in bare knuckle, and we saw it right there. Do it again, baby. Unbelievable finish. You thought Yost was in the driver's seat, or was getting, not Hansen, I should say. Both guys threw that right hand, perfectly placed left hand. That left hook landed right on the chin from a different angle. You can see both guys throw a right hand. Beautiful shot. So that's exactly the way we want to start the night. Both guys got knocked out. We always talk about a guy getting up off the canvas to win. We're 1 for 1 so far. I love it.
Full credit to both Mike Hansen and Anthony Yost, both in their respective BKFC debut going all out. Yost dropping Hansen, then Hansen off the canvas to finish Anthony Yost in round number 1.
And the most impressive thing there was Yost, he was countering so well. Every time Hansen threw a punch, Yost countered beautifully. He was landing good shots. He was looking good. He was firing back at all times. It just takes one. This is where you're going to grow. You're going to learn more from beating bare knuckle in BKFC. You have to be perfect. You have to have the hands up. You can't just counter. You can't wing punches. You have to be good technically all around.
We go to Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Jonathan Romero, steps in, calling a stop to this fight at 1 minute 46 seconds into round number 1. For your winner by TKO, Mighty Mouse Hansen.
And Hansen has already shown us a guy who's determined, able to get up off the canvas, come back, be clear-headed, and land a hard shot. I can't wait to see this guy fight again, because, man, that was an exciting first fight.
Mike Hansen talking to BKFC president and founder David Feldman. Make no mistake, that was a David Feldman type of fight. 1 knockdown apiece. Yost dropping Hansen with the left hook, and then Hansen finishing Yost with the right hand. The winner by way of first round TKO, Mike Hansen defeats Anthony Yost.
Saturday, August 10th, the world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, returns to the birthplace of bare knuckle, the United Kingdom, with a historic event full of explosive bare knuckle fights. In the main event, the Brumtown Bomber, Connor Tierney, is ready to prove why he's among the elite as he battles the undefeated Johnny Graham for the first ever BKFC UK Welterweight Championship, plus many other mind-blowing bare knuckle fights. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com. Saturday, August 31st, the world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, returns to Canada looking for new blood. It's BKFC Prospects, Edmonton. In the main event, Drew Wildboy Stuvo Stubby battles Sonny the Savage Smith, plus much more jaw-dropping Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship action featuring 10 adrenaline-fueled clashes. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Don't miss it. Download it now at bkfc.com.
To the heavyweight division we go. The numbers presented by OnlyFans for Caleb Avila versus Joe White.
Both very similar here, 2 inches height difference, 1 inch reach. The main thing with this fight, Sean, is a 32-pound weight advantage for Joe White. You can lean on the opponent, you can push him around. The bigger, stronger guy usually has the advantage in this sport.
This is bout number 2 in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship for Joe White. He's had 6 pro boxing bouts. White was an outstanding amateur boxer in the USA boxing program, where he compiled an amateur record of 175-15. In our fighter meeting, Joe White said, "I am fully focused on the jab. It sets my offense entirely." White said, "I'm not going to try to overthrow to the head of my opponent, Caleb Avila. I'm going to stay long. I think I can knock him out with shots to the body and cracking my jab."
Well, he understands he can take his time in this fight. Learn that the first time he fought bare knuckle. You don't have to rush in there. There is going to be time, but he has to make sure he's not wasting energy with every punch he throws. Save the energy, wait for the right time, and then unload when you see an opening.
Joe White said, "I believe in my opponent, Caleb Avila, and this is BKFC debut. We'll sit back and be very tentative. I'm going to use aggression, but smart aggression from range.
I thought I heard something very intelligent from him. He said he's going to bend his legs this time, not the waist. You lean down, there's nowhere to go. He got hit in that position last time, and it paid. He fought for a very tough fight. Bend the legs this time, keep your feet underneath you, stay in position.
Caleb Avila now set for his BKFC debut. This is also his professional combat sports debut. Avila has compiled a record of 5-2 as an AMI in MMA. In our fighter meeting, Caleb Avila said, I absolutely do not care about the result of this fight as long as it is entertaining. He said, I pride myself on being a very fun and very creative fighter.
He said he's a straight brawler, creative, entertainer. He wants a fast start. He says he has great cardio, fully believes in it. He can come out and go hard the entire time, with both heavyweights cannot do.
Chris, we're closing in on 1,000 fights in BKFC, so that means close to 2,000 fighter meetings. Caleb Avila told us something we have never heard before in a BKFC fighter meeting. He said, I'm going to play rope-a-dope. Shades of Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman, Kinshasa, Zaire, 1974.
He believes in his skills, his power, his speed, his ability. One thing you got from this guy, he was confident as could be going out there. He really believes he has the ability to be great in the sport.
Once again, Jeff Houston.
Fight fans of Temecula, we are set for the next fight of the night, scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the heavyweight division, presented to you by OnlyFans. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, tonight he wears gray. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. His official weight, 262 1/2 pounds. Tonight he toes the line for the second time. Fighting out of Broward County, Florida, here is Joe the Punisher White. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears black and white. He stands at even 6 feet tall. His official weight, 230.9 pounds. Tonight, he makes his BKFC debut. Fighting out of Valley Center, California, here is Caleb Panda Avila. And our referee in charge of the action, Andrew Glenn.
Joe White said, I'm going to quickly assess my opponent, Caleb Avila, and then turn up the pressure. White said, I believe I can definitely finish Avila inside of 2 full rounds. Round number 1. Fast start off from scratch for Caleb Avila. He's in the black trunks. Playing all defenses. Joe White, he's in the gray trunks. The separation from Andrew Glenn. Look at the amusement on the face of Joe White.
Avila talked about having great cardio. He better have it for going that fast, that early.
The left hand from the southpaw stance getting through from White. Avila walking through that punch.
I like the smirk on Joe White's face. He doesn't look rattled at all.
Right to the body, the naked right hand. Step feint now from Caleb Avila.
These guys are extremely close.
Back left hook, another big left hand and another huge right hand. And that is ruled a knockdown by Andrew Glenn. Avila's hands touching the canvas after the right hand landed from White.
It didn't look like it hurt too much. It just knocked him off balance.
Let me see your hand.
Still considered a knockdown, though.
White, big on the jab. Again, White told us in our fighter meeting, I am fully focused on my jab. You saw it there from southpaw. Thudding right-handed jab.
You can just see the size and the strength difference. Joe White is a massive individual.
And again, still big swings from Caleb Avila now into the clinch on the overhook. There's the separation with a slight push off by Joe White. Really coming forward again, left hand getting through from Joe White. 35 seconds remaining, round number 1.
Avila's chin is straight up in the air. He's got to duck that down. He's got to bite down that mouth. He's got to be careful because he's very hittable at this point.
Working off the jab, circling out is Joe White. Left hand on the step in again from Joe White. Now 20 seconds remaining, round 1. Shift stances from Caleb Avila. Back to orthodox. Heard the 10-second clock late here in round number 1. The Philly shell from Joe White. There is the bell.
Interesting round. Obviously took a lot of hard shots. I was impressed with his chin. The one knockdown didn't look like he was very hurt. He just knocked him off balance, but he has to get that chin tucked. If he keeps putting that chin up, he's going to get hit very hard by Joe White.
Presumably, 10-9 across the board.
Said 10-9 across the board.
Another 10-8 across the board. Presumably, I hope it's not a 10-9. Say that from a neutral perspective.
Well, Joe White did a fantastic job of waiting for the right time, unloading hard punches. He's a bigger, stronger fighter in this situation. That's what he needs to do. Wait for the right time, explode hard shots. Avila's got to tuck that chin down, not be such a big target, and push the pace. He feels like he believes in his cardio, wear your opponent down.
Calling knuckle up from Andrew Glenn, round number 2. Started off from scratch, Caleb Avila, as he did to start round number 1. Counter Joe White. Avila's mouth almost wide open as he takes that right hand out, heavy in the clinch. Good turn from Caleb Avila.
Joe White has some very good defense. None of those punches seem to be getting too clean.
The right hand. Coming through it again. Do it to the body. There's that creativity he talked to us about.
Step back, step back, step back.
Avila is constantly pushing forward, pushing the pace. He's fighting when he wants to.
Very slight swelling under Avila's left eye. To the clinch. Overhooks held. Draws the separation from Glenn. 1:10 remaining, round number 2. See the measuring by Joe White.
If I'm Avila, I'm not standing and waiting and trying to counter Joe White. I'm getting off first because he's not going to be in a good position to take those hard shots.
Right hands. See the high tight striking guard of Joe White.
And I like what Avila did there. He went to the body.
Right hand and the left hand again. Joe White told us he felt that he would finish Caleb Avila inside of 2 rounds.
But Joe White has that very good high tight defense, blocking a lot of the shots, but that leaves the body open. Avila needs to start taking what he's being given, and that is the body.
30 seconds remaining, round number 2. Counter right hand, another step in right hand from Caleb Avila.
But I was impressed. Avila took a hard left hand from Joe White, and he walked right through it. That's impressive.
We saw hands on hips from Joe White.
And this might be the strategy. Avila said he believes in his cardio, push the pace the entire time, wear your opponent down. But he's gonna have to do something because he might be down because it was a knockdown.
Hands on hips again from Joe White. There's the left hand getting through. On the underhook from Joe White. That ends the second round.
Joe White clearly starting to get tired. Avila doesn't look nearly as worn out, but he's taking some massive shots so far. I think the main problem with what's going on, his head is up a little bit too high. Hopefully he'll be able to watch this fight afterwards, go back and say, okay, I need to get my head down a little bit, not be so much of a target, and so I'm going to do a lot of really good things. This is still a very close fight. It's anybody's contest, especially if Joe White gets tired.
Confirmation. Set for round number 3.
Ain't that jab. Send that right
PEREZ.
Take us down.
Man extraordinaire also. Just as successful BKFC fighter. Caleb Avila.
Took Joe White a minute to respond to the referee telling him to toe the line.
Hands up, let's go. Knuckle up.
Round number 3. Very muted start off from scratch for Joe White. Might be fatigue, that might be intelligence, we're not sure.
We'll find out.
Ooh, there's a big left hand. Starting to think it's the latter, the explosion from Joe White. Big swings on the counter, now on the turn.
And good job for Avila by trying to get close to his opponent. Joe White's getting really tired.
Right back to it. Dipping his head now, Caleb Avila.
Joe White takes a knee. He's tired.
Andrew Glenn just asked Joe White, do you want to fight?
Joe White saying he got hit low, and he Glenn's having none of it.
That is ruled a knockdown. Knockdown apiece, make it 2-1 on knockdowns in favor of Joe White.
Avila's hurt. Can he get up? He's not getting up. He's not getting up. Nope.
The count of 10. Victory number 1 in BKFC for Joe White.
Sean, another fight. The guy who goes down first gets up and wins. And you could just see Joe White was so tired, I didn't think he had it in him. I didn't think he was going to be able to win this fight. But you just saw that sense of urgency, that desperation. I have to do something right now, and he did it.
Joe White dropped Caleb Avila in round number 1. Looked absolutely exhausted to start round number 3, although we speculated that might have been a bit of gamesmanship because then White, after that muted start to round 3, exploded with the punches, but then took a knee in round 3 without being punched off that canvas to then put onto the canvas Caleb Avila, and that's the final punch of the fight.
Well, watch this right hand. Just obliterated the nose of Avila. Avila couldn't breathe, I think. Sometimes when you get that nose popped, you go, oh my God, what was this? I've never had that happen. I've never been hit like that. And you look at the face of Avila. So I gotta take a knee. I want nothing more to do with this.
Phenomenal fight. Thank you.
That's class from Caleb Avila, just telling Joe White, phenomenal fight, thank you.
Thanking the guy for punching you right in the nose. I love it. Hey, he talked about being a showman and being an entertaining fighter. I think he did both of those very well.
It was definitely an entertaining heavyweight fight. Our strike stats are presented by Bucked Up Energy Drink.
And you can see, Sean, a lot more being thrown for Avila, more being landed. What a good percentage for Joe White, but this is bare knuckle. All it takes is one good clean shot. Joe White just showed that he was losing. He just went down, landed one punch, fight's over.
Here is Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Andrew Glenn, reaches the count of 10 at 1 minute 4 seconds into round number 3. For your winner by KO, Joe the Punisher White.
Huge fight for Joe White, getting up off the canvas, dealing with a lot of adversity, being very tired, showing that power, getting the victory.
Down in round number 1, Caleb Avila pulled himself back into this fight, walked through some very big punches, landed his own very big punches. White taking the knee without being hit, then immediately responding to finish Caleb Avila. The winner by way of round 3 knockout, Joe White defeats Caleb Avila.
Saturday, August 3rd, BKFC rumbles into Sturgis, South Dakota for BKFC 63 with gold on the line as strawweight champ Britton Hart clashes with Taylor Starling. From there, we head across the pond on Saturday, August 10th to the birthplace of bare knuckle, the United Kingdom. We'll be in Coventry for BKFC 64 when Connor Tierney fights Johnny Graham for the UK welterweight title. Then, we're back stateside on Friday, August 16th for Fight Night Kansas City when Jake Lindsay scraps with Elvin Brito. For more info, go to bkfc.com.
We are all the way live from Satellite 5. I'm Brian Socha, and as always, so much to get into this week on the Bare Knuckle Show. We're glad you're hanging out.
Bare Knuckle just takes one shot. If he can land a good shot, he can do some damage.
6 new major signings, a new location overseas that we're going to be doing.
Gives me so much more energy and reason to go ahead and do what I do.
Oh, shit!
Oh, shit!
It's inappropriate.
And we're live from the Pechanga Resort and Casino in Temecula, California. BKFC Fight Night presented by Bucked Up, OnlyFans, Grunt Style Apparel, and Forged Irish Stout. And now your next Tell the Tape, presented by Fubo TV.
145-pound division, Dan Pettit versus Van Gogh.
Sean, another one of those rare situations where you have a guy who's taller by several inches. However, a 2-inch reach advantage for Van Vo.
This is fight number 3 promotionally in BKFC for Van Vo and his 4th overall in the sport of bare knuckle. Vo has also had 15 pro MMA bouts. Vo told us in our fighter meeting that his main focus in training for this bout was on increasing his hand speed. Vo said, I want to show what I believe is my vastly increased hand speed. I also want to show my movement and show my technique.
Well, it wasn't just the hand speed. He wants to increase his volume this time. He wants to leave it all out there. It felt like his last fight, he still had some juice left at the end. He wasn't exhausted. He wants to make sure this time he leaves it all out there. A lot of action, a lot of pushing the pace. He cannot be afraid to try and take it to his opponent.
Vo is a very intelligent fighter. He's very introspective. We always have great fighter meetings with him. He said, if you see me smiling, I have this fight won. He said, I have to be loose. I have to enjoy myself, and that is when I'm at my best. That is when I am making my best decisions.
Well, he knows he wants to hit his opponent really hard early. He wants to make his opponent question why he's even out there. So go out there, push the pace, and then start looking to counter after you hit the guy clean once to get going.
Vo said, I have to keep landing quickly and then move just as quickly.
And like you said, smiling is the key for him. He gets out there. If he's focused, he will be happy. He loves the sport. He loves being out there and competing. And if he's smiling, he's a dangerous fighter.
Dan Pettit.
I appreciate everything.
Enters 1-0 in BKFC overall. This is now his 3rd fight in the sport of bare knuckle. Pettit made his BKFC debut this past May. He defeated Dylan Felon by way of 3rd round TKO. Pettit told us in our fighter meeting, I want to slow things down a bit, be more calculated than I was in May in my 3rd round TKO victory versus Dylan Felon. I want to pick apart Van Vo. Dan Pettit told us clearly.
He wants to throw straight punches this time. He wants to push his opponent back, make him fight off his back foot. Doesn't feel like Van Vo has the ability to fight backing up the entire time. If he can push him backwards, he's going to win the fight.
As we said, Vo had a very considerate fighter meeting. So too did Pettit. Pettit told us, I want to establish my jab, keep throwing 1-2s, target the body of Van Vo. I'm going to throw straight punches, and I'm going to explode in with high volume and then get out immediately.
Well, he feels like he's a bigger, stronger, faster fighter. He feels like he has to fight at his pace. He said last time he showed his power. This time he needs to show his skill, not just his power.
Aside from punching power, Dan Pettit also told us, I believe that I will be physically stronger than Van Vo. I have to use my power to make him move backwards.
He has to use his pressure to make his opponent fold this fight.
Back to the ring, and Jeff Houston.
We are set for the next fight of the night, scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Presented to you by Fubo TV. Watch live sports and TV without cable, including BKFC on Fubo TV. Start your 7-day free trial at FuboTV.com. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight he wears yellow trimmed in the proud colors of the United States of America. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. His official weight, 145 1/2 pounds. Tonight he steps into the squared circle ready for bare knuckle fight number 4. Fighting out of Kettering, Ohio, here is Van Tactic And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight, he wears white and green. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall. His official weight, 146.6 pounds. His overall bare knuckle fighting record stands at 1 victory opposite a single defeat. fighting out of Manchester, Connecticut, by way of Lake Elsinore, California. Here is Dan the Tower Dog Pettit. And our referee in charge of the action, Mike Beltran.
Van Vo told us, I know that Dan Pettit smartly applies pressure, but he gets wide when he does so, and he becomes very hittable. Round number one. Multicolored trunks for Van Vo, white trunks for Dan Pettit.
You have to watch out with Pettit. He throws hard punches the entire time.
Big swings from Pettit, resetting off of that left hook. Another duck under from Vo. There's the footwork that Vo talked to us about. Now off the entry jab.
Van Vo looking very smooth. Just got to make sure he doesn't get hit with one of those big punches.
Right time striking guard, right hand, and that sends Van Vo to the canvas. Ruled a slip by Mike Beltran, right back to it. On the jab from Van Vo. Coming forward from southpaw's Dan Pettit. Seeing the orthodox Van Vo. Right hand getting through, a big right hand, and that is a clean knockdown.
Oh. I don't think Pettit's coming back out. He's shaking his head. He's done.
It is over, and victory, just like that for Van Vo.
That was a wild first round, a wild fight. You could just see Pettit coming forward with power the entire time, but he walked into a few punches. Van Vo was tactical, just like his name. Throwing punches at the right time, very elusive, very slick. That was the best we've seen Van Vo so far.
You could see Dan Pettit shaking his head in the negative as Mike Beltran was counting. For the fallen fighter, Chris, that is never a positive sign.
Just those power shots, but when you throw those shots, you open yourself up, just like you see in that situation. Van Vo waited for the right time. He countered beautifully. And that wasn't the first time he landed a hard shot. Pettit was hurt, got hit with a hard shot, said, I don't want anything else to do with this. That's exactly what Van Vo said he had to do. He had to hit him early to gain his respect and make him question himself. That's what happened in that situation.
Absolutely one of the nicest people on our BKFC roster, Van Vo, showing his class in victory with his opponent, Dan Pettit. No animosity between these two fighters. You see the positive outpouring of emotions for the victor, Van Vo.
Sean, I first commentated Van Vo in an MMA fight. He was fighting a guy who was 10-0. He had not a very good record, and he came out there so positive and knocked his opponent out. I've liked this guy ever since, and always very positive, always very nice, humble, just a great, great fighter, great human being. Really wanted me to talk about his son. Really been trying hard to do well in wrestling. Finally made it to Fargo, and that's his inspiration.
Here's Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Mike Beltran, steps in, calling a stop to this fight at 57 seconds into round number one. For your winner by KO, Van Vo.
And Sean, you have to be happy for Van Vo getting better each fight. He gets out there and just improves. Really showed how relaxed he was and just how fluid and smooth this guy could come out here in that situation. He could do very well for us. The way he continues to grow as a fighter, I love it.
That is a quality win against a quality opponent. Dan Pettit entered 1-0 in BKFC. Van Vo, though, was on point. A beautiful right hand to the finish. Victorious by way of first round knockout. Van Vo defeats Dan Pettit.
Saturday, August 10th, the world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, returns to the birthplace of Bare Knuckle, the United Kingdom, with a historic event full of explosive bare knuckle fights. In the main event, the Brumtown Bomber, Connor Tierney, is ready to prove why he's among the elite as he battles the undefeated Johnny Graham for the first ever BKFC UK Welterweight Championship, plus many other mind-blowing bare knuckle fights. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com. Saturday, August 31st, the world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship returns to Canada looking for new blood. It's BKFC Prospects, Edmonton, in the main event. Drew Wildboy Stuvo Stubby battles Sonny the Savage Smith, plus much more jaw-dropping Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship action featuring 10 adrenaline-fueled clashes. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Don't miss it. Download it now at bkfc.com.
Is it Yost or is it Hansen? And folks, we are here in Pechanga, and right out of the gate, what a war we had here. Yost and Hansen, back and forth action to kick things off. Avila and White, and that was wild. Another wild fight here. What did I tell you? I told you the Freeview could steal it all. I wasn't joking around. 3 fights in a row, 3 finishes in a row. That's Fantastic Vo coming through with another victory. Look at that beautiful stuff right there. If you want to be a part of the entire event, you just saw the Freeview and you saw how good the Freeview is. So how do you think the entire night's going to go? What's going to go just like that and better? $7.99. Drop the money, get on the BKFC app, and you're going to get the entire show, including the massive main event, WARR and Peralta. That's $7.99. You're going to get another 2 events as well with that later on going into August. So a lot to be excited about. $7.99 right now, because here in just a few minutes at the top of the hour, that's going to be it for the Freeview. That's where you got to switch over to the BKFC app and see it all. Here we go, Fernando Gonzalez making his way into the arena here at Pechanga, ready to go to work. He is going to be in your co-main event, and he is looking for blood tonight. What a night we've had here already in Pechanga, and that big man is coming to bring the heat. The OnlyFans exclusive look. There, Fernando Gonzalez, Rodney Thomas making his walk here. It's going to be the first time out here for Rodney. Is he ready? He thinks those knuckles are ready. He's about to find out when he toes the line in that extra small Fight Night squared circle. Folks, it is happening tonight in our co-main event with the OnlyFans exclusive look. And guys, it is only just around 20 days away. We are getting awful close to the mega event that is BKFC 63 at the Sturgis Bike Rally. It's going to be insane. If you've ever seen anything that happens at Sturgis, we're talking hundreds of thousands of people descend upon South Dakota. And not only are you going to get all these great concerts, you can see all these great things with the motorcycles, you're going to see the fastest growing combat sport on earth, that of course being bare knuckle fighting, on display Saturday night, August 3rd. You don't want to miss it. And of course, that main event is insane. There's a lot of heat here. Britton Hart, Taylor Starling. This one for the Strawweight Championship. That is your main event. So let's take a closer look at these 2 furious females.
I am the best fighter that BKFC has.
Big shots, great run, hands up, tag, another run in from Britton Hart.
This is the best physical shape I'm in, the best mental shape I'm in. I can't wait to give bare knuckle a real world champion.
This is the fight the fans want. You say you're going to bring it, I'll bring it. My name is Britton Hart. I am in Fort Lauderdale training out of Level Up Boxing and Fitness Gym. Being a world champion for BKFC means so much to me. I just really feel like still in my heart that I'm the biggest face and symbol that BKFC has. You know, they started with this dream that no one believed in them, thought was crazy, wasn't gonna work out, and look at them now. I really feel like I embody that. The world title brings a lot to my life, and especially my career. For fighting is different, and being the world champ is different. People look at you a different way, and you really have to accept that role of responsibility and leadership.
There is Britton 9.0.
Stepping in with the 3-punch combination.
reaching the 5th and final round.
You know, I told you guys, I give crazy speeches. I'm back to being Britain fucking hard, baby.
My name is Taylor Killaby Starling. I am 4-2 in bare knuckle, and I fight out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. I'm very excited. This is an opportunity that came to me. I didn't beg for it like the Christine fight. I've worked very hard for it. I've had a lot of ups and downs in my careers, and I've had some of the highest highs and the lowest lows. And I think this is the best physical shape I'm in, the best mental shape I'm in. I can't wait to give bare knuckle a real world champion.
Taylor Killaby Starling.
Round number 1. Big shots to start from Taylor Starling in the black and yellow. While taking a tremendous amount of punishment. That is it.
I fought a lot of demons the past 2 years, so it feels good to be back in the win column.
Winning the world title would mean everything to me, and I don't mean it in a sense of disrespect. It's a belt, it's a piece of leather with metal on it. That is a material thing. For me, what means being a champion is going to be carrying myself outside of the ring, for my children, being a role model and a true example. So that's going to mean everything to me because I don't have the belt and I feel like I already have that. That's just putting the cherry on top of it.
If I do something, I give it my 100%. So there's nothing in my life that I haven't worked hard for. But in fighting, in boxing, and in bare knuckle boxing, I have probably worked harder than any other place and area. We're going back down to heart and grit. Nobody outdogs me, nobody outbrawls me. I think people think that I'm too technical of a fighter now. I faced it all, and Taylor Starling is nothing new to the table that I haven't already done and beat in the ring. Now I just have to push the bar and level up on how I want to look and how I want everybody to perceive me as the biggest threat in BKFC.
I know you're working hard. We're 2 pioneers in this sport, 2 of the baddest females in the division. Let's bring it to Sturgis, South Dakota and put on a show for the people. It's what they want, it's what they deserve. We're 2 OGs, and I'm telling you, I got a bomb in this right hand waiting for you. Let's go, baby. It's time to knuckle up.
I'm proud to say that I'm undisputed at strawweight, and it's something that I will die fighting for to keep.
To the inside, that's a big left-handed, another from Britain.
Taylor Starling, we've been talking about this for years. You know, said let's go, pay up. This is the fight the fans want. You say you're gonna bring it, we'll bring it.
August 3rd, that's when it all happens, folks. Britain Hart and Taylor Starling in the main event for BKFC 63 in Sturgis, South Dakota. I can already hear those motorcycles revving. What an incredible night that is going to be. With that being said, let's bring in our commentary team once again. And when you talk about this main event, guys, I think a lot of people are intrigued. And I think the biggest question out there, maybe the elephant in the room, has Taylor Starling changed her game enough to get another title opportunity, and what do you guys expect out of her when she steps into those ropes again with a championship on the line?
Well, what I expect is a fantastic fight. Both these girls are really, really talented. I've worked out with both of them just to see how they work, how they fight, how they punch. And I've been very impressed. I just worked out with Taylor Starling not too long ago, and I was really impressed with her ability to counter and come forward and put pressure on. When she does so, she's a dangerous fighter. She needs to be aggressive. When I talk to her, she acts like that's what she wants to do. Come forward, push the pace. She's got nothing to lose. She's going for the title. She's going to come forward and bring the fight.
And it's notable, of course, this is for Britain Hart's 115-pound world title in BKFC. Both women started as 125ers in BKFC simply because when we launched 6 years ago, we didn't have a women's 115-pound division. Both were walking at about 125 pounds. So this is the natural fighting weight, the natural fighting category, 115 pounds for both the champion Britton Hart and Taylor Starling.
And one thing you talked about, will she be able to make that title run? Because when she fought the first time, when she fought Faria, like you talked about, that's at a different weight class. This is her natural weight. This is where she should be. And 10 pounds may not sound like a lot, but it's a huge difference. A difference in power, speed, everything. It's just a different fighting style. So being at 115, that's where she needs to be, and that's why this is the best title fight we could come up with.
Well, not only are we going to have that incredible main event, but you guys have seen this card. And it is a stacked card here. Now, for the folks at Sturgis, for all these bikers, for all these folks that come in here, hundreds of thousands of people, they are going to see a very, very fun, fully packed card, a lot of power, a lot of heavyweights. Let's take a look at those top 4 fights brought to you by Savage Sip Coffee Company.
Chris, let's talk about Joe Riggs versus Joseph Creer in the light heavyweight division. Joseph Creer has been outstanding in BKFC. Joe Riggs is a good friend of both of ours. He was great in the UFC. He was great in Bellator. He's been great in BKFC. Joe Riggs has said this will be his retirement bout from all of professional combat sports. The asterisk on Joe Riggs, he is the person who directly brought you out of retirement from the UFC and into the great sport of bare knuckle fighting.
Absolutely, I was done. I saw him fight in England. I said, I have to be part of this. I have to do it. Joe's been around for a long time, extremely heavy-handed, a big power puncher, but Creer, in his last fight, he really showed a great in and out motion, controlling range. He looked phenomenal. So that's going to be a fantastically tough fight, especially for Joe Riggs if he wants that to be his last one. I mean, Burns versus Shoemaker, 2 heavy-handed heavyweights. That's a fantastic fight. Josh Dyer, let's not forget, when he fought Warren, our title holder right now, he beat him once and was winning the second time they fought. So that's another fantastic fight. I mean, that whole card, I don't know who's in charge of that, but we did a great job of matching that card.
Well, what a night is going to be. It's going to be fantastic. And just this scene, you know, and I think with Britton Hart, when we talk about that main event, Sean, I think she likes to be on the biggest stages. I think that's a big part of her career right now. She feels like she's done a lot, but being on a big stage like Sturgis, I feel like she is going to really bring it, put on a show out there because she is in the main event and she's out there to impress that Sturgis crowd.
It's Britton Hart and Taylor Starling. You know, there's no real animosity between these two fighters. They're both long time in BKFC. There's a rivalry, of course, both are coming to finish, but there's real respect. Again, they started as 125ers. They're down to both of their natural weights of 115. They embrace the moment. They embrace the entertainment. This is massive for BKFC. Being involved in Sturgis, lost in all of this, talking about Sturgis' stacked card. This is also a new state, of course, Cyrus, for BKFC into South Dakota. Chris, as you know, this is our second time in California. We continue to open up states across the United States. We continue to open up nations such as Japan, such as Spain.
And Sean, you talked about there being no animosity. That doesn't matter. Some of the best fights I ever had were against the guys I respect. It just matters who comes out to fight. They're going to come out and fight. That's all you have to worry about. I don't care if there's any, you don't have to manufacture anything. They're going to come out and put on a show. So, and I don't know why I said I don't know who matched the card. Nate Shook always says match it, make it. He does a great job.
Well, guys, remember, if you want to get tuned in, get the app and get that at the top of the hour. We're just minutes away from the full card here at BKFC Fight Night Pechanga. We talked about Spain. You mentioned it. It brings up that incredible main event. Obviously, we know Conor McGregor's going to be in the house. We have the huge press conference next Thursday from Marbella, Spain. But that main event is a lot of fun. Tony Soto and Tenaglia, I can't wait. Marbella, Spain on October 12th, gentlemen.
Franco Tenaglia was a mid-card fighter when we made our BKFC debut in England, August of 2 years ago at Wembley Arena. Tenaglia is an Argentine now based in Spain. He has been a revelation in BKFC. Tony Soto came to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, not on the mid-card, but as a prelim fighter. He was 2-0 in professional boxing, and he has been undefeated, and he has been simply brilliant. I am really excited about this fight. It crowns the new BKFC lightweight world titleist.
Should be a fantastic fight. You have to like the fact we're going to be in Spain. A great headline fight. Tony Soto, this guy's been begging for a title fight. He's done everything he could to deserve it. He's undefeated. What else could you ask for? Great card. I just can't wait to be there, Sean. That's going to be a new country we're opening up. Every time we get to a new place, it just shows the growth of this sport, and I guarantee Spain's going to love us.
Well, of course, you know, we've seen everything from Bulgaria, obviously what they've done there, and in the UK. So you got to believe that going into Spain, a brand new country, they are going to latch on to this. Kind of like this California crowd that is losing their mind back here. They're used to bullfighting. They love extreme sports in Spain. They're running down the streets in Pamplona. I think they are going to grasp on to bare knuckle fighting very closely, Sean. I think it's going to be great.
I've commentated MMA in Spain. There are phenomenal gyms throughout the country. So often I think as North Americans, we think, well, it's just Barcelona and Madrid. It is a phenomenal country. Obviously, they're mad for football, for soccer. They love it. But there is a sporting culture. You talk about boxing. You talk about wrestling. You talk about traditional martial arts. They are embracing bare knuckle. They've already embraced MMA. We are going to have a jam-packed crowd. And even though he's an adopted countryman, again, Tenaglia is an Argentine based in Spain, that crowd in Marbella is going to be fully behind Franco Tenaglia. And I think that is something that actually, ironically, Tony Soto was really going to embrace.
Sean, and it doesn't even matter. I mean, we're talking about the country's going to embrace. I think every country is going to embrace BKFC because everybody who's like in UFC, everybody's like in boxing. We take the best elements of both of those when putting them together. If you like those sports, you're going to love what we're doing. So everybody we go to, everybody who knew, they absolutely love what they're doing. They respect it. They like it. When they come here and you see it live, it totally changes the game.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. We're going to give it back to you in just a few moments as these fighters are ready to walk. There's so much going on here with the BKFC, to say the least. Let's take a look at August once again because it is chock full of action. We've been talking Sturgis on August 3rd. Then back to the UK, an incredible matchup here for the UK welterweight title. Tierney and Graham, can't wait to see that matchup. Back to the heartland, Kansas City. It's going to be great to get back to Kansas. August 16th, you know they have real-time scoring there in Kansas. Lindsay and Brito, what an awesome matchup that's going to be. And then at the end of the month, it is going to be Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Can't wait to get back to the River Cree for a prospect series. Woo! Folks, you know, a lot of the time we have David Feldman here, and he is here, and he's usually the one that is dropping these big bombs, these big announcements. Well, I have one for you. I'm excited to have that responsibility because we are going back to Hollywood, Florida, back to the Seminole Hard Rock on September 13th. The thing is, we haven't told you what the main event is, but now you have it. This is huge. Bantamweight championship will be on the line. The brand new champion, Alberto Blas, absolutely electrifying. What happened between him and Keith Richardson? He's going to defend that title against Royal Ryan Reber. What a matchup there. Well-deserved shot there by Reber. But then how about this? King Mo, the MMA, how successful he's been, former MMA world champion, decides he wants to take a crack at bare knuckle fighting. So who do we send? We send our middleweight champion who is coming up a weight class to welcome King Mo into the squared circle. So there it is. Certainly one you don't want to miss. BKFC 66 in Hollywood, Florida. Oh, baby, we are absolutely bucked up here in Pechanga at the event center, and they are crammed in here. This place is 100% sold out. Folks, if you want to be a part of this entire event, this is your last minute warning to become a part of it. Get the BKFC app right now. Get it, $7.99, and you are locked in for the rest of this one. Here is your main event. Over 50 MMA bouts between our main eventers. Robbie, Problems, Peralta, 1-1 in BKFC, and you know he is hyped up for this opportunity. Main event in Cali. This is a major moment for Peralta, who has had some major moments in his career. This one at the top for him tonight. But on the other side of the squared circle, Ruben WARR. We saw him in Knucklemania, an incredibly grueling bout. He is back, ready to make a statement in the main event. An incredible moment here. Ruben WARR, Robbie, Peralta, you know it's going to be money. Here's your chance. Get the BKFC app. Don't miss it. BKFC Fight Night on the way.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want. Breaking news and live sports. Entertainment for the whole family. Rated #1 in customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Try free at FuboTV.com.
Something that I work on throughout my camp. It's called the Raja. It's super key for me. It's really helped me.
My name is Dr. J.R. Rivera Dehenio. RASHA stands for Reciprocal Antenna System for Holographic Activation. Key benefits that athletes can receive is stress relief, relaxation, reduce inflammation, less performance anxiety. If you're interested in upgrading your performance, come visit us at therasha.com or our Instagram at Rasha Revolution.
I wouldn't call myself a journalist. I definitely am a reporter. We find out things that are going on that nobody would ever cover. Because it's not a big enough story, it doesn't gonna bring the dollars or whatever. We have people watching from all 50 states. We're constantly in tune with what's going on. Do you like to be lied to? No. Do you like to be misled in any way? No. Do you want your communities to be safe? Yes. Well, good. Me too. And everybody on LFA TV feels the same way. That's why you should watch Live from America and LFA TV.
We open our main card with a bout in the lightweight division. The numbers presented by Grunt Style Apparel for Squire Redfern versus Richard Brooks.
All right, Sean, 2-inch height advantage, 2-inch reach advantage for Redfern. Richard Brooks, a very powerful individual, has to get inside that reach and land those powerful shots.